everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, On the Line. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson is entering, and I might have said this on other previous reviews, entering the Bruce Willis, Nicolas Cage realm of just putting out tons of movies, right? So, never heard of this one? But I mean, I think he's a radio show host who has a family. And some caller calls in and threatens his family while he's doing the radio show. And so Mel Gibson has to figure out how to save his family while they're at risk. 1,332 people rated it. A 5.3 so far. So Kevin Dillon, besides Mel Gibson, is the only name I recognize in it. So we'll see. I don't know. I'll watch anything with Mel Gibson in it, Nicolas Cage, Bruce Willis. And this list will go on and on and on, I think, but it's starting to happen more and more. But we'll see. Let me get into it, find out what it's about, give you a better idea, let you know what I think. Stick around. I'll be back. Switch remotes. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of On the Line, and this is a hard one for me to review. It's tough. It's funny. It's really... So I'll give you the plot line, right? So Mel Gibson is a radio host who has a late night, talk show advice kind of thing where people call in and get his advice, right? And so he has a wife and a kid at home, and he leaves and goes to the radio station. He's taking calls from people. It's obviously not a lot of people in the building at night, but gets a call from a person who says that he kind of ruined his life and he's going to hold his family hostage and blah 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 blah. So he's got to kind of save his family while on air. I think that's pretty much what I had told you. Now the entire story evolves from there, so it's perfectly okay for you to I can't give you any more because it does. It changes, and that's a lot of the fun of this movie. Now, as I watched this movie, as it started, I swear, I called it out from the beginning, right, of what I thought was going down. And I was right. But that doesn't give you a lot of information. It just tells you, as usual, I'm right. But they lead you down a path, and it puts doubt in what you might think is happening. It puts doubt in what I think is going down with all of this. So, it's hard. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who wants to see this because, like I said, what happens in the movie is most of the fun. It's not, not the acting or the cinematography or the scenery. It's what they do with the film. So I'm trying to think about how to share this with you without telling you. Let me put it to you this way, I guess, and then I'm going to have to get into some spoiler kind of alerts. I won't ruin the movie, but anyway, let me put it to you this way. If you want to watch this film and you think you're somewhat intrigued, check it out. Absolutely. But don't turn it off. Watch it for the full length of the movie, right? Because it's worth it to wait through it instead of turning it off, which you might be inclined to do. So, with that all being said, I am going to get into talking a little bit more openly about it. I'm not going to ruin the ending or anything like that, but I am just going to be a little bit more blunt about the movie, that if you're interested in seeing it without hearing any more, go check it out. Don't worry about me. If you have seen it or you don't really care, stick around. But now you've been warned. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Not really, but still. So, the first thing when I'm watching this movie is the caller. The caller was just... The guy who's holding his family hostage was just awful, I felt. Like, it was ridiculous. And it continues the entire length of the movie, right? The whole time this guy's talking to Mel Gibson like, this is terrible. This is an awful, awful movie just because of him. Mel Gibson was okay. There were some parts where I was like, and then I get into the whole battle with myself. Is it the dialogue? Is it just the acting? Is it all that kind of stuff? And I was like, okay, I could see why people don't like this movie. I kind of like the idea, but it's really not that good. There's so many, there's a part with an explosive on a door. which you can plainly see. Like the cop goes to come in, and they're like, no, no, don't come in. Like the cop can see the explosive through the door because they give you a camera angle, and I'm like, oh, come on, you know what I mean? It's like that kind of bad. So there's points where it's like, okay, I get it, you know. Kevin Dillon isn't in it as much as you think, and it's just all way out there. And then let it play out. So I just wanted to share that. Again, I'm not trying to spoil the movie on you, but there were the things I really wanted to say before that you might want to turn this movie off. And then if you don't, you'll see. So there you go. A little bit more revealing. Worth the watch. I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad I made it through it all. And didn't turn it off. So there you go. That's what I got for you. Don't know if I was helpful at all. Maybe I made you a little bit more intrigued and maybe you want to go watch it now. So check it out. If not, that's okay. Alright, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.